Let's not call it stupidity. Let's call it poor decision making. That's next up on That's next up. Okay, sorry. That's next up on Weird World. God damn it. Weird World.
I'm not editing.
Weird News. Dumb shaming. Coming up.
Hi, welcome to the Weird World podcast, which is how you say it. My name's
impressive.
Carrie.
I'm Dean.
Hi, Dean.
It wasn't just the Weird World. I can do that. Weird World, Weird News. That's a hurdle too far for me.
Well, to be fair, you had trouble with Weird World.
No. I think I've gotten really good. I've progressed a lot.
Okay.
So we have weird news coming up. This is, I don't know, maybe this episode won't age well because at some point people are going to say, you guys are dumb shaming. You guys should not say those things, but really stupid things that stupid people do. But we'll see. We'll figure that out when that happens.
Yeah, but also smart people do stupid things too.
Oh, absolutely. We have some examples of that, or at least people who think they're smart who do dumb things. Absolutely. We're not making fun of anybody that we're going to talk about today. Actually, maybe we are. So we'll see. You'll be the judge. But this is just some weird news has been in the news lately from just some people doing some, kind of amazingly dumb things. Carrie's going to start us out with a couple that come under the guise of dumb government.
Yes. So, of course, the first story is from Tennessee.
Wow. Okay.
Sorry, Tennessee.
We've already pissed off Kentucky forever.
It's your state legislature.
Yeah.
So
I'm going to be really clear about that, by the way. Tennessee is a great state. Lots of good people. Not everyone, obviously.
Well,
but
every
the
state has
politicians-
lots of good people.
The politicians they put in power on a state level are fairly awful. And
you got to take ownership of it.
that's true. Okay.
Anyhow, if you live in Tennessee, you do, I suppose.
I hear Nashville is phenomenal.
Yeah, I know you do. Okay, so this is a bill that was passed in the Tennessee legislature actually last year. So it's almost a year old. And at the time of these articles, it had just passed the legislature, but it hadn't been signed into law by the governor. It was signed into law by the governor. But this law forbids chemtrails, which we all know are those things that people are using who, I don't know, do they ever say who's doing it? Is it corporations?
Well, first tell the folks what chemtrails are.
Well, they're,
We've
the things
covered
that come out of airplanes, big jets in the sky, and you see the big white lines.
Those are contrails.
But that's what they say are chemtrails.
Yes, contrails. A lot of conspiracy theory that contrails, which are just simply steam and ice crystals because of temperature.
Condensation,
essentially. At low temperatures with hot exhaust from jet fuel, jet engines. And people say, oh, those are, people, usually big government or something like that is spewing out horrible poisonous, some kind of poison or something to make us, I don't know, dumb or sterile or whatever.
I'll mention it in a minute, but it's so basically the big bad federal government is doing this, I suppose. But so anyway, the Tennessee bill, they don't ever actually refer to them as chemtrails.
No.
They just say they're forbidding the intentional injection, release, or dispersion of chemicals into the air. Mm-hmm. So they're basically something called geoengineering, which is actually what some, I guess, government agencies maybe or companies are trying to do to combat climate change. But it's not actually happening. No, they're not doing any of these things. But they're thinking that the injection of chemicals and stuff into the air is affecting temperature, weather, or the intensity of sunlight.
Yeah, it's none of those things are happening. I mean,
nope.
You could argue that they're trying to get ahead of the curve a little bit, and because on the horizon, there's things like cloud seeding and stuff like that. I'm not going to say that is their intent. It's not. They clearly had chemtrails in their mind when they wrote that, even though they didn't include that word. They were for sure informed by that.
Cloud seeding has been going on for ages.
Yes, but it's going to probably get more sophisticated, and they probably are going to use some funky chemicals. I can see that happening someday. Again, I don't want to give them too much credit because they don't deserve it, but...
Well, actually, the bill's backers were kind of inspired by a government report that was released about solar geoengineering, which is the idea that if you reflect sunlight back into space, it'll cool off the planet. But I think it's controversial and it's not.
It's ridiculous. You're going to put around the planet, you would have to put one of those silver things that you put in the hood of your car to reflect. I mean, but it would be nearly a planetary size contraption of some sort.
Yeah, so there's probably some government report that talked about the idea of this.
Well, maybe not even that.
And, there was.
Okay.
But the White House actually said, no, there's no plans to even establish a program to research this. So we're not looking into this at all. There was something called Project Storm Fury that ran from
I love the name.
Like the early 60s to the 80s or something, that it was about hurricanes. So they were basically cloud seeding or something, a hurricane, and it was to like reduce the moisture. It was to try to reduce the intensity of hurricanes. And it just mixed results. It didn't work very well, so they disbanded it, and they're not doing it. It is a good name, though.
Yeah, it is.
So, I mean, they had experts testify, and of course, they had experts on both sides. So the people who were for it were going to be for it, and the people who were going to be against it were against it. So
there might be some air quotes around the word experts for one of those sides. But, I mean, it's kind of like if, you think that making a law against vaccines that cause autism, you can't make a vaccine that causes autism. We know vaccines don't cause autism. So it's sort of one of those things where it is giving a little bit of red meat to a certain constituency. I think that was probably what motivated those folks.
Well, I think some of those folks are in the
that's true.
legislature.
We've gotten to that point where it's no longer just like, oh, okay, no, we you're sort of humoring the rabble. The rabble is inside the building.
But the conspiracy theories around chemtrails are...
that sounded super pretentious. I didn't mean it to, but there are, I mean, let's be honest, there are a lot of unbelievably unqualified people in states' legislatures and Congresses now that you wouldn't have been able to say that 20 years ago and 30 years ago. They weren't unheard of, but there was a modicum. I mean, you rarely found people who were just true believers and believed something nutty. That was not unheard of, but it was incredibly rare. It's shockingly common now.
Well, the conspiracy theories around chemtrails are that it's governments or corporations spraying chemicals from airplanes to kill, control, or poison people. And I've also heard like to vaccinate people against their will, which you can't inhale a vaccination as far as I am aware. And also population control, like to sterilize
I think that's where
certain
it started,
populations.
I think.
Which like how could
silly.
you pinpoint it that?
And again, we talked about that on as a conspiracy theory. It would literally take every airline, tons of thousands and thousands of airline and government personnel and chemical companies, things like that, to be in on this scam, and no one ever breathed a word of it. It's just so
silly.
It's embarrassing.
And because it's silly sounding, I have to tell you the name of the bill's sponsor. His name is Monty Fritz.
I love it.
And he thinks it's, quote, a very common sense thing to do. But also, in response to this, a Democrat from Nashville, one of Dean's favorite cities, named John Ray Clemens, he wanted to introduce an amendment to the bill to protect Yetis and Sasquatches and Bigfoot, because one of Monty Fritz's rationales for this was to, he said, everything that goes up must come down, and any chemicals sprayed into the air are going to come down, and he thinks they're going to affect...
And harm Sasquatch?
Yes. Well, no, that's what John Ray Clemens said. Yeah, of course, we got to do this because we need to protect Sasquatch from all the bad chemicals.
Aside, actually, I think it's about time we had a national federal bill to protect Sasquatch from hunting and illegal.
Yeah, Monty Fritz thinks those chemicals are affecting our health. So,
well, thank you, Monty, for looking out for the rest of this.
So, John Ray Clemens says this is stupid. This is silly and it's a waste of time. And there are more important things we should be doing than this. And of course, Monty Fritz's thing is like, it's never a waste of time to protect our land and air and water, and which obviously that's not what you're doing. So anyway,
what's up next?
Yep. Oh, and then so that was passed last year. The governor signed it. This year, they amended it to increase the fines. I don't know what they were initially, but now they're $100,000.
Oh, wow.
So I wonder how much revenue they're generating.
I'm going to guess zero.
Yeah.
Forever.
I didn't read anything that said how they were going to actually enforce this law.
No. Those occasionally send bills to Delta.
Yeah. I mean,
See if they pay them.
But how? Are they just going to look up in the sky? And then who are they going to call? FAA? What's the plane that's above me right now?
The evidence for chemtrails is by looking up to the sky and not understanding what causes contrails. That's all you need.
Well, okay.
Next one.
Here's one from the next dumb government one is from the great country of Japan. They just reported at the end of last year that for decades they had some program to eradicate mongoose from Mamioshima Island.
Ooh.
And they had done it.
Well, good.
It was finally done. It took them several decades.
Why do they want to eradicate the mongooses?
Well,
Or geese?
these mongooses, I think, or mongoose, I don't know, were not native.
Oh.
Obviously. They were introduced into the island in 1979. They brought about 30. They were brought to eradicate the habu. I'm assuming that's how you pronounce it, Habu, a species of venomous viper.
Oh. Really? They just wanted to get rid of their venomous vipers?
I don't know if that one was native or not.
I don't know.
The problem with this little plan was the mongoose are active during the daytime and the vipers are active at night.
That could be a problem.
So it didn't work.
No.
So they couldn't do it. But you know what they did do?
So they didn't kill any, they didn't eat any snakes at all?
I don't know if they didn't eat any of them, but you know what they did do?
What?
Multiply.
Of course they did.
So they brought 30.
Yeah.
They got to about 10,000.
And I'm assuming not a huge island.
Probably not. And so you know what they were eating? Rabbits and crops and native fauna. So they were doing bad things on that island.
Did they change the name to Mongoose Island?
No, they probably should have. So the effort to get rid of them included putting out 30,000 traps, and they even got a mongoose sniffing dog.
I wonder what a mongoose
I guess
trap
just
is
one.
exactly. Huh.
I mean, probably like any kind of little wild
Biggest
animal
rat trap you've ever seen.
trap. Yeah.
No. It would be a little cage probably with some meat.
Yeah.
With a little rabbit. A live rabbit at the back of the cage. That's what I'm guessing.
Yeah. So anyhow, yay, good job.
So,
Environment Minister Shintaro Ito.
poor due diligence in the first place, but
Yeah.
they eventually took care of business. So go for you, Japan.
It only took them from 1979 to 2024.
Breed.
Okay, one more
Okay, one more
little
dumb
story
government.
for you. This is also going to be a fairly quick one. This
Okay.
one out of New Zealand. They had a little problem with one of their Navy ships. It sank off of Samoa. It plowed into a reef on the coast of Samoa where it caught on fire and then sank.
Oh.
Good news is nobody died. I think everybody was able to get off on little rowboats.
Probably rowboats, sure, because they
You
would
know
have
what I mean? What are they
engines
called?
in the 21st century. Just, craft.
So of course there's
Dinghies. I don't know.
there's going to be an investigation into what happened, but it looks like they just didn't realize that they forgot to turn off the autopilot.
Oh.
And it kept going. So they were trying to steer it away manually, but it wasn't working.
Oh, really? So you can't feel like on cruise control, you just you tap the brake and it's going to go off. There's not something like that on naval New Zealand vessels.
I guess it doesn't work that way. They thought, because they were trying to steer it away and it wasn't working, so they thought there was some other issue. They didn't even think.
Oh.
Check the autopilot. They were looking at other stuff that they thought it could be, and it wasn't. So, that's pretty bad. There were 75 people on board. They were evacuated safely.
In rowboats?
It ended up about a mile off of the coast of Upolu, Samoa.
Oh, okay. So
The
rowboats they weren't that far.
Well, but a mile's a mile.
Yeah.
But New Zealand only has 9 ships in their navy.
That's a pretty small navy.
Yeah.
I wonder if they have a coast guard or something like that.
They're one down now. I'm sure they do.
8.
But this was the first ship lost at sea since World War II.
Wow.
For New Zealand.
So when it's time to activate the NZAS treaty, just don't even call New Zealand. What's the point? I mean, at least not for naval help. So they have 8 ships.
Yeah.
It's too bad. New Zealand, get on it. Get some more Navy ships.
They're probably going to get a new one.
I suppose.
So basically, it was a series of human errors.
Yeah.
So that's kind of sad. And the chief of the Navy, what's his name? Something Golding, took, the buck stops here kind of speech and took responsibility
Did he
for
resign?
it. Huh?
Did he resign?
No,
Okay.
he's
He
going
just
to.
said, this is my bad.
He's going to keep working to earn back the country's trust.
Good for him. All
So,
right, Mr.
yeah.
and Mrs. Golding.
Oh, I'm sure it's a mister.
Oh, okay. Well, that's some misogynistic. Okay, that's fine.
It is a little bit funny.
It is. I know.
Oopsies.
We're going to switch over now to a new category of stupidity. We'll call this medical mishaps. And our first story comes from Florida. Don't say anything bad about Florida, Curie. I know you're just about to. But William Bryan and his wife Beverly Bryan were in Florida. They were checking on that. They had a rental property there that they rented out. And William, we'll call him Bill, he started experiencing, quote, left-sided flank pain. That is his side hurt. He had a side ache, but it was really bad. And so they went into the doctor to have it looked at. And the doctor said, we recommend surgery. We think your spleen is bad. We think you have a spleen problem. The Bryans were a little bit reluctant to have surgery in Florida. Now, I don't know if that was a Florida thing or they just want to go back to Alabama. They're from Muscle Shoals, Alabama, and just say, let's have surgery back home.
Yeah.
We know our doctors, whatever.
Sure.
So
I think a lot of people would do that.
I would too.
If it's safe to travel,
yeah.
I would want to go home too.
Yeah. So the doctor, Dr. Thomas Shagnovsky, he's a general surgeon, and his colleague, Dr. Christopher Bacani, he's the hospital's chief medical officer. They both said, no. You need to have the surgery here right now in our hospital. It could be really serious. You can get complications. So we'll take care of you. Don't you worry.
From TV and movies, spleen surgery is usually emergency.
Is it really?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, this was an emergency surgery. They convinced him, said,
Yeah.
you need to have it right here, right now. So Shagnovsky took the helm, and he did what's called a hand-assisted laparoscopic splenectomy on Bill. Quote, Dr. Shagnovsky removed Mr. Bryan's liver and in so doing transected the major vasculature supplying the liver, causing immediate and catastrophic blood loss, resulting in death. Did you hear that right, Carrie?
Oh, my God.
You did hear that right. He did not remove
his
the
liver.
spleen. He instead removed the liver, and he died on the operating table.
That's a danger of laparoscopic surgery.
Really?
Because it's just when they cut the little holes and they stick
I know, but don't
instruments
they
in there. Yeah. What are they using to see?
I don't know. They must be.
Well,
they
they
must.
also
They
blow up your
right?
belly.
I think they use little cameras.
I
don't
would
they?
think
They
so
use
too. I'm
cameras.
sure.
they
I
do.
hope so.
Quote, the surgeon proceeded with labeling the removed liver specimen as, quote, a spleen.
Oh, no.
And I shouldn't laugh. And it wasn't until following the death that it was identified that the organ removed was actually Mr. Bryan's liver as opposed to the spleen, unquote.
Oh, no.
So naturally, Beverly Bryan is suing the shit out of the hospital. They told her that, look, the spleen was so diseased that it was 4 times bigger than normal, and it had moved over to the left side. I'm sorry, it had moved over to the opposite side of the body from where the spleen normally is. In a typical human, the liver is on the opposite side of the abdomen from the spleen and is much, much larger than a spleen. It's about the size of a football, and the spleen is usually about the size of an avocado. I guess in this case, his spleen was basically liver-sized, effectively.
Okay, it's still their job to figure this out.
I'm not excusing them, trust me. Here's the thing. Shagnovsky, the doctor, had done something similar in 2023 when he removed portions of a pancreas instead of the adrenal gland that he was supposed to have been removing. They settled that case out of court privately. As of now, let me find I skimmed over the name of the hospital. I shouldn't. This hospital needs to be fully credited.
Yeah, is this going to be season 3 of Dr. Death?
So the hospital was Ascension Sacred Heart Emerald Coast Hospital in Miramar, Florida.
Okay.
I want to give them full credit for running a very tight ship there in Miramar, Florida. Beverly Bryan, the wife, she's sued them. Some of those quotes that I first delivered were from her lawyer. And she said, quote, "My husband died while helpless on the operating table by Dr. Shaknovsky. I don't want anyone else to die due to his incompetence at hospital that should have known or knew he had previously made drastic, life-altering surgical mistakes." Clearly written by her lawyer.
Yeah.
And clearly to make it sound like no, it's not for me. It's so no one else suffers at the hands of this monster.
That is a very important point.
It is, but yeah. I mean, she's suing because they murdered her husband, basically. But yeah, you should probably be. I don't know. How would you?
That's the problem.
I mean, if it just that sure looks like a liver. And it's on the wrong side. I don't know. I don't know.
We know organs get shifted around in there. They couldn't find Emma's appendix when she had appendicitis, so they sent us home.
Spleen, ironically. They removed her lungs.
Weird. They literally couldn't find it. She had all of the symptoms of appendicitis, but they did ultrasounds and couldn't find it. And so finally, luckily, he was the chief of surgery.
He woke her up and said, "Where's your goddamn appendix, Emma?"
No, he told me, "Look, we don't know for sure that that's what it is because we can't find it. But we're
going to fish around until we find it. We'll take it."
He said, "We know she still has one. So basically, it's going to be exploratory surgery to determine, that that's what it is and then remove it." And I'm like, what the fudge?
So they're cruising around in there with a camera and I don't know, little baby scalpel.
Yeah, because it was laparoscopic.
Yeah.
So, yeah, but they did find it. And of course it was hiding. It was in there. It had migrated behind her uterus or something.
I have a quick
don't know.
bonus medical mishap for you before we move on to your next category. And that is in Graz University Hospital in Austria. There was an accident by I think a forestry person. His name is not given, but he had a head injury, got a pretty severe head injury. So they had to do head cranial surgery on him at the hospital there. The surgeon, who in this little baby article is unnamed, allowed his 13-year-old daughter to drill the hole in his head. That was then used to perform brain surgery. His 13. Hey, you got to get them early. I mean, she's probably going to be a really damn good surgeon someday. And this is some early experience that could help her on her way to surgical genius, Gary.
Did anything go wrong?
No, but still. The patient said, or the patient's attorney said, quote, "There was no contact, no explanation or apology, nothing. That is simply undignified." Yes, it is.
Oh, yeah. Undignified is the issue with that one.
I suppose it's no, right there, honey. Just pull the trigger. And she,
I mean, the problem is you got to know when to stop.
Yeah, I'm sure he was saying, okay, and do you feel anything mushy? Okay,
exactly.
Stop now. Stop. Yeah, well.
That's crazy. I don't ever want it, my brain.
Next up, Carrie. Carrie's going to give us a couple stories
of
people who are so smart, they're actually kind of dumb.
This first one also does involve a dead body.
Oh.
But this one's not sad.
Okay.
This is... his name is Bredo Morstol. He's born in 1900, so he was an old guy. He was Norwegian. He was the director of Parks and Recreation in near Oslo.
In Oslo. Okay, not in Ohio. Didn't work with Amy Poehler. Okay.
No.
I got it.
No, because I said he was Norwegian.
Yeah, I know. I thought he might have moved here. I don't know. Go ahead.
Sounds like he was a great guy. Lived a good life. Died at the age of 89 in his sleep, like we all strive to do.
Yeah.
His son, he was known as Grandpa Bredo. Everybody loved him. He was great. But his grandson decided he wanted to preserve Grandpa Bredo's body cryogenically.
Did he ask Grandpa Bredo?
I don't believe so. So in 1980... Grandpa Bredo's grandson, Trygve, I'm assuming that's how you say it, Bauge.
Bauge. Trygve Bauge.
Left
I don't know.
Norway. He wanted to go live in Colorado.
Oh, okay.
Nederland, Colorado. He was like a survivalist. He was into cloning and ice bathing and cryogenics. He thought it was, or cryonics. He was a little libertarian kind of guy.
Yeah.
And so when he came to the United States, he decided to stay, but he wasn't going to bother himself with getting a visa or anything like that.
Really?
So it was 9
He's
years.
like overstayed his what?
Yeah,
Tourist
yeah.
visa kind of a thing?
Probably.
Okay. Well, remember Trump wants them from Norway, so he's okay with that.
Yeah.
It's the other countries where they have less white
That's
skin
true.
that he's not happy with.
Well, this way predates Trump. But so that was 9 years before Grandpa Bretto died.
Okay.
So at that time, because Trygve was very into cryonics and stuff. So he brought his Grandpa Bretto's body from Norway to California, actually, first. And
Did you get like a permit for that? I mean, you have to. There's definitely regulations on that.
no details.
He might have snuck his body in like a large case.
And he would have had to have like been packed in dry ice.
And he put like a sticker on the outside that said ski equipment and just hope for the best.
Well, he brought him to a cryonics facility in California called TransTime.
Well, I feel like they've probably changed their name since then.
They're probably being defunded by
For
Doge
sure.
right now.
They have no chance at a federal contract.
And Grandpa Bretto spent about 4 years at TransTime in California in liquid nitrogen.
Okay, well, that's legit. That's what you're supposed to use.
That
right?
is what you're supposed to do.
Okay. How long had he been dead before he was
I'm
brought
concerned
over?
about the journey over here.
Yeah, I know, me too.
I don't know, but it takes time.
You're supposed to get him right to, you
Yeah.
know, when you sign up for that, like suppose some folks have, you're supposed to like, hey, the millisecond I'm dead, maybe even before I'm quite 100% dead, put me in the liquid nitrogen and freeze me up.
Well,
Your brain starts going pretty quick.
yeah. And your cells do too.
Yeah,
Everything
they start-
starts to decompose. But so anyway, Trygve's plans
Trygve.
was to make his own cryonics
Oh.
facility. He was going to DIY it.
Okay.
So
That
he,
shows gumption, Carrie. It's the American spirit.
yep. So
It's before YouTube too, isn't it? So you can't even just watch YouTubes on how to freeze your grandfather's body. He can't
that
do
is
that.
correct. So after he builds his own little homemade thing, he gets his Grandpa Bretto's body to Nederland, Colorado. This was 1993. So
U-Haul.
he
Back
spent
to
about
U-Haul.
4 years there.
Bunch of ice.
They packed him in a huge box with hundreds of pounds of dry ice, and he ended up inside of a tough shed.
So he puts Grandpa in a tough shed on dry ice.
Yep.
Did he pour hot water on the dry ice every once in a while just to make it volcanic?
To make it look cool.
Looks cool, yeah.
No. He used the services of a company called Delta Tech, which is a local environmental company, not a cryonics company, to keep his little DIY facility running by replenishing the dry ice every 2 weeks. And it cost Trygve about $1,000 a month.
Wow,
Yeah.
that's not cheap.
I don't know what Trygve did for a living. Well, so obviously this wasn't a good idea for Grandpa Bretto. His body probably underwent a lot of damage in these things. And obviously dry ice is not the way to do it. It's got to be liquid nitrogen.
Yeah. What's the diff? Do you have any idea what the difference is? Like degrees or something like that? I mean,
I don't know that it's degrees, but really what they want, there's a company in Scottsdale, Arizona. They have about 230 quote unquote patients, and they've been doing this since 1972. They use cryopreservative fluid that they replace all the blood in the body, but they have to do it immediately because you can't go back and do it even a couple days later because the blood vessels like close up. You can't get into them.
We should do a full episode on cryonics and the science of that. I'm sure it's gotten better, but there's been some bad stuff happen over the years.
Yeah. I mean, it's kind of dumb. It's dumb.
It's
But this cryopreservative, just, so that you know, it's made from the proteins of fish that live in cold places like the Antarctic.
That makes sense.
Because it has to do with
love
freezing points. And
So I see. So the blood stays liquid even when it's very extremely cold. Although,
yes,
by definition, if it's liquid water, it's never freezing. So it has to be at least a little tiny bit above freezing. Otherwise, it's ice.
yes, because it prevents the formation of ice crystals.
Okay.
Yeah, because otherwise, if your blood freezes, because it expands and contracts, and
Yeah,
it's gonna mess everything
wouldn't
up
want
in
that.
there. Nope. But so anyway, so Grandpa Bretto was in this tough shed at Trygve's Nederland, Colorado property, and unfortunately for Trygve, in 1994, he got deported back to Norway.
Deported to Norway.
Yep.
That wouldn't happen today.
And he couldn't take Grandpa Brado with him.
Did he tell anybody? Hey, can you check my tough shed?
No, they knew about it.
Okay.
Apparently,
really?
Yeah, the people in the town knew about it.
Oh.
And the town ordered that the body be removed because they passed a new municipal code that outlawed the keeping of the whole or any part of the person, body, or carcass of a human being.
That doesn't sound very understanding.
Blah, blah, blah.
He loved his grandpa.
And Trygve fought this new law all the way from Norway.
Okay.
And because Grandpa Brado was there before they passed the new law, his body was grandfathered in.
Grandfathered in. I see what you did there. Okay.
So he got to stay there.
Oh.
So in 2002, when Nederland, Colorado was thinking like, how we can get more people to come visit, spend their vacations in good old Nederland. Never heard of it. Don't know where it is. It's probably beautiful.
I'm sure
Most of Colorado is. But anyway, they thought, well, we got Grandpa Brado on ice in there. So they decided to start Frozen Dead Guy Days.
What? Is there a new sticker on our National Weird World Places tour that we're going to do?
Well, this is a festival.
Nederland?
Where they had coffin races.
Oh, okay, yeah, then it is. The answer is yes.
Yeah, a blue ball.
A blue ball? Don't know what does that mean?
Because Frozen Dead Guys are blue. And it's a ball where you dance.
Meaning? Continue, please. Sorry.
Champagne tours of the Tough Shed, polar plunges, parades, etc., etc.
Is the body always on parade? I imagine, Grandpa.
No, that's the Champagne Tough Shed tour.
Oh, okay, they don't ever take him out.
No, that's probably too dangerous.
Okay.
But so this started in 2002. It only lasted for about 20 years.
Oh,
so sorry, Dean, we can't go.
Oh,
we
they don't
can't
have it
go
anymore?
for Frozen Dead Guy
Damn
Days.
it.
They couldn't sustain it anymore. It had grown too large and become too expensive.
Or just too good.
Just start charging more.
Yeah.
That's silly.
I mean,
well,
they don't understand capitalism.
You know what's not? It's about an hour away, I think, from Nederland, Colorado.
What?
Estes Park, Colorado.
I think I know what that is.
What's there?
It's the
Stanley
Stephen King
Hotel. Yep.
Hotel, right?
Yep.
Shining.
The Shining Hotel. So they thought, oh, this will be perfect. The guy who owned that bought the festival. I wonder how much he had to pay for that.
Okay.
With Trygve's blessing.
Oh,
Trygve thought it was a great idea, and they arranged to move Grandpa Brado to the hotel, and they, put him in a more standard cryonics thing. They put him in liquid nitrogen.
That's very nice of them.
Anyhow, that's where Grandpa Brado is now.
Yeah. Is there any chance that, he could be brought back?
No.
There's no. I mean, his body is just completely, I'm sure, decomposed.
Yes, and they know that.
Ruined.
Yeah, even the company that's handling it now, they know it's just kind of for funsies at this point.
Funsies with Grandpa.
But Trygve's not giving up. His next plan is cloning. So he must have.
Trygve is convinced that he's a genius.
Yeah.
See, that's what I mean, right? That's what first. You thought of these things. I will guarantee Trygve thinks he is absolutely the smartest person in the room, wherever he goes.
It is hilarious.
What's next on the list of the Dunning-Kruger types?
One of our favorite targets around town, Tesla Cybertrucks.
I love Tesla Cybertrucks. Who doesn't?
Well, did you know they're
so attractive. They don't look like a 6-year-old designed them.
They literally look like trash dumpsters, but
much worse.
They have kind of mud flap-ish things on the backs of their wheels.
But they're hard plastic.
Yeah.
On the back, because I've seen them. I think the front.
All four wheels.
Because you don't see much wheel on them from behind or in front.
Oh.
You just see kind of the bottom of the wheel.
Yeah. Well, they have a little bit of an issue with these mud flap things. I don't know what they're called. It's in here somewhere.
A real mud flap is soft.
Yeah, it's like rubber.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And these are hard plastic, I think, right?
Yeah, they're triangular hard plastic mud flaps is the things. And apparently they're there for aesthetic and aerodynamic reasons.
Well, they're also for mud flaps because they don't spray mud on the person.
But what happens is dirt and water accumulates in this little spot. And because they don't flap around, it's like an enclosed space almost.
And they have a lip that's horizontal. I mean, they're vertical, but they have a horizontal lip.
Yeah, so it's like a little shelf in there.
Yeah, a little shelf on all four, I believe, on the tire side of the device. So
what do you think happens when dirt and water and stuff accumulate in there?
I think a family of beavers.
I don't think they're that big, but stuff does begin to grow.
Oh, okay.
Grass starts to grow.
Oh.
Weeds, grass, whatever. One guy named Cybertruck 1974 wrote on some probably Cybertruck owner forum or something. Mm-hmm. Grass growing in Cybertruck. It's really green. I don't want it, and neither do you. He calls
Speak for yourself, bro.
He calls it a rear driver's side air deflector or whatever you want to call it.
But for sure not a mud flap.
He said not mud flap.
Oh, okay.
So his was a screw ripped out of it, so it was hanging a little bit. So that's why he went to check it out.
So otherwise you would never notice, would you?
I guess not.
Yeah, because that's probably not easy to check. You'd have to get down on the ground and...
So
he's very hard to check. Actually.
He's letting all of his fellow Cybertruck owners know about this because he thinks the fix to this is drill holes in it for
so the
drainage.
Water can't accumulate.
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't know why that genius
Elon Musk
didn't think of this.
7-year-old who designed this 6-year-old's dream truck.
Yeah.
Doesn't look like a truck. That's the weird thing about these things.
Because the problem though would be, and another owner said, like, how do we do this?
Yeah.
You blindly go drill holes into something because to remove it, to drill the holes so you know exactly where you're drilling them is really hard. You would have to remove the whole wheel.
Oh, wow.
Apparently. So
yeah, you know what? Just have a little cyber farm. It's cyber farming.
Yeah.
Just
there you go.
It's not going to hurt anyone.
The first guy said the front ones are easier to remove, and he went and checked those. All 4 of his had dirt with grass in them.
Jeez. So every Cybertruck owner is growing started like a little weed patch. You know what I'm saying? Make a little money, some little CBD cash on the side.
Well, that one person's response was, smoke it.
Smoke it? What does he mean? A vape pen? What is it?
Smoke that grass.
Oh.
It's not.
Oh, I get it. Okay.
Trying to be clever because Cybertruck owners.
Oh, I see. But that's Tesla clever.
Yes.
So it's not really clever.
Another one, K-Panda17, says...
Another Cybertruck owner?
That it isn't that big of a deal. I'm guessing because he's on the Cybertruck owner forum.
Yes.
He said, it's, quote, totally normal. Happens to boats, vehicles. Whenever dirt and sea can mingle is a moist area.
That sounds like the average Cybertruck owner.
K-Panda is very...
Okay. Well.
Yeah.
I mean, I know we're making fun of all Cybertruck owners, but all Cybertruck owners deserve, because that is the stupidest vehicle in the history of humankind. That is 4 notches dumber than the Edsel. So if you did buy a Cybertruck, you should be absolutely ashamed of yourself.
I would also imagine if like a lot of dirt starts to get, that's heavy.
Yeah, but Gary.
Yeah.
It's worth it. It's worth it to have such a cool car.
Yeah. Okay, I got
What's
one
next?
more.
Okay.
This one is about embryos. There's a startup.
Embryos are dumb because they're very small, Carrie. Be nice. They'll get smarter.
Well, this is a startup company called Heliospect Genomics.
Okay.
And they have a brilliant idea to help parents who are doing, I guess, in vitro fertilization. And so usually you end up with a whole bunch of embryos that you have to store to use at a later date. They are going to offer their service to these, probably usually pretty wealthy parents, up to $50,000 to screen their embryos for IQ and other desirable traits.
The embryos.
Okay.
It's like a tricorder, like Star Trek. That is like wave it.
Doesn't say how they would do this.
Some kind of genetic
testing. How could
testing?
they do it?
I don't know.
Yeah, I don't
presumably
know.
it's some kind of genetic testing. I don't. But how are they looking at the each genome and seeing if they have the genome that causes something, autism or Down syndrome or something like that? Could they do that? presumably.
Well, they can do that already.
Yeah, they could, couldn't they?
Yeah.
So,
well, actually, I don't know.
Well, no,
they,
I don't know.
I don't know if they can do that at the embryo
so
stage.
what they're saying, we'll do that. Whatever they can do in that regard, they'll do that to your embryos.
Yeah.
And they'll tell you. Now, they're not really going to be able to do IQ. That's ridiculous, obviously.
Well,
but they could screen for defects, quote unquote.
no, here's what they think their technology could help select children with IQ scores 6 points higher than those conceived naturally.
Here's the thing.
$50,000.
If you're going to make up a fake number,
yes.
be a little more aggressive, bro.
Do 60.
60 points. Ease at least 26. Pick a number. Pick a standard deviation at least. Something. 6 points. Your kid will be mildly intelligent instead of mildly intelligent. Just a different inflection of my voice.
This is hilarious. So they've offered this service to a dozen parents so far. Didn't say if anybody actually took them up on it.
Well, I think they're approaching parents randomly at malls at this point.
Well, there's a company that's very upset with them,
Oh.
and they're like on a campaign. They're doing things like, probably secret recordings and trying to get them to admit that basically this is eugenics, right? Because
it does sound a lot like eugenics.
Yeah,
you know who would do this is like, again, we're not going to pick on them, but your tech bro types, the people who think they're so goddamn smart. Musk is probably going to use them to see if he can screen for kids that might grow up to hate him or kids that might eventually refuse to become a human shield for him. He doesn't want those kids.
Well, so the company that's against them, they're called Hope Not Hate.
Oh,
and they did like a secret recording
like a sting.
of like somebody like pitching their services to them from this company. Yeah. And they said that they could screen up to 100 embryos based on IQ and the other naughty traits that everybody wants.
I'm not sure what that means.
I'm not either, meaning like male or female, tall, short, as well as risk of obesity or risk of mental health problems.
See, there's absolutely no way this is just straight up fraud. There's none of those things are detectable.
Yeah, sure sounds.
I mean, sex, gender, maybe.
Yeah.
I guess. I don't know. Maybe.
They can. Yes.
Genetically, sure.
Yep.
And I imagine they could look for genetic defects. I imagine, but they can't tell IQ. They can't tell height, risk of obesity, unless that, I don't know. I wouldn't think.
Well, so apparently Heliospect Genomics is currently in quote stealth mode and still developing, but they're preparing for a public launch.
So they said that themselves. They said themselves, we're in stealth mode. That's not a good admission.
And they said they don't condone like elite selection and stuff like that.
That's why they exist.
And would not offer testing for quote dark triad traits.
I don't know what that is.
What the heck
is there some kind of secret society we don't know about?
I don't
and they're
know.
Speaking that language?
I meant to Google it to see what a dark triad trait is.
Traits.
Or beauty. No evil, villains.
You know what the naughty bits might be? I was just thinking. They'd tell you your kid's going to have a big dick. Or large breast or something like that. Maybe. I mean,
I'm surprised who's not going to be gay. They won't be gay or trans or,
Dark, what's it called? Dark
triad traits.
AI says the dark triad is a combination of 3 personality traits: narcissism, Machiavellianism, and psychopathy. People with these traits may be manipulative, lack empathy, and explosive. So they're going to tell you if your kid's psychotic.
Yeah.
And they're going to say, please,
psychopath.
we want that. That's how you make CEOs.
Yeah.
So, okay.
Yeah, they didn't say whether they would be selecting it out or selecting it in.
So your kid's going to be pretty much a huge asshole.
Yeah.
You might be rich. What do you think?
Wow.
I feel like if you pay that company $50,000 and your kid is going to inherit his or her intelligence from you, your kid's going to be stupid. So you don't need to pay them $50,000. So if anybody who wants to pay them $50,000, don't do it.
Well, you want to know who their CEO is?
Who?
His name is Michael Christensen. He's a former financial markets trader.
Of course he is.
Probably has the background and expertise to do this. Here's a quote from him.
God.
Everyone can have all the children they want, and they can have children that are basically disease-free. It's going to be great.
Great. Thumbs up. Big smile.
Disease-free.
Disease-free, right. Oh, God, what a dickhead. That's what's happened to everything. I mean, you can over-romanticize it, but back in the olden days, a lot of these disruptive technologies and applications, things like that, they did at least have someone who's like, I am into that sector, whatever that sector is, I'm into that. Now it's just little MBA twits and finance people looking for the next thing that's going to make them money. Whatever sector that is, whatever expertise is nothing. It's just their expertise is solely money, fundraising, and doing an IPO. No, that's at least that's the dream. Not like they're not. I'm really fascinated by transportation and how things like. No, they don't give a shit. It's just what's the thing that we can convince people is new and disruptive.
Yeah.
So we can get money from these rich people. And then,
Well, this smacks
sell out.
of Theranos.
Yeah, it does.
Like, I have an idea.
Yeah.
It's a very high-tech idea.
Yeah.
I have no idea how to accomplish it.
Zero expertise in that area.
And then you try to hire somebody who you think can do it. Because this doesn't sound like it's
I'm
all
a
that.
finance guy, not a jeans guy, but hey. So I am going to bring us home with two stories that I don't know what to call them, but it's just people that are kind of too dumb to help themselves, too dumb for their own good. The first one comes to us from Kitsap County, Washington.
Heard of it?
Of course you have, Carrie. A little town called Poolsbo.
I
No.
believe I've had a relative live there in the past. Ulsbo.
Poolsbo.
I'm not
Lovely.
I'm not going to say their names.
Okay, don't.
But they don't live there anymore. They moved.
Okay. It rhymes with Amantha. There was a woman who lived there, and she called 911 in an absolute frenzy. It was an emergency. Please, she begged to please come out here. There's 100 raccoons outside my house, and they are going to murder me.
100.
That's what she said.
Did you count them?
Pardon?
Did you count them?
She said there's just
It's a lot of raccoons.
She said these, quote, those raccoons were becoming increasingly more aggressive, demanding food, that they would hound her day and night, scratching at the outside of her home, at the door. If she pulled up in her car, they would surround the car, scratch at the car, surround her if she went from her front door to her car or went outside at all. They saw this as a food source now. They kept coming back to it, and they kept expecting food, end quote. So basically, this woman lived in a nightmare of raccoons harassing her for food day in, day out. So please, Sheriff's Office, send someone down here. Please get rid of these raccoons. Wow. Why do you think they'd be harassing her for food all the time? Why were these raccoons?
Because she was feeding them.
She had been feeding them for years. This dipshit had been feeding wild raccoons at her home for years. Suddenly, about 6 weeks before she called the police, though, it went from raccoons would come by, get some food, leave, to like a population of raccoons just camped outside her house, all around the grounds, around the trees around her house, and would not leave her alone. So just explosion of the raccoon city, which existed in the immediate perimeter of her house.
Wait, do you know what kind of neighborhood this is?
I think it's out in the country a little bit, because they said there's trees around her house.
Okay.
So, yeah, I think she had some property out in the country. It's not, I don't think it's a tract housing type of thing.
Could you imagine?
Oh, my God. Stop feeding the raccoons, Brenda. This is our problem now. Quote, the sheriff said, this is a nuisance problem, kind of her own making, that she has to deal with. Actually, I'm sorry. That was the state fishing game said.
Yeah.
Basically, like, hey,
you're out of luck.
It's your bad. I mean, they did. They went out there and they said, stop feeding the goddamn raccoons.
And they'll go away.
She stopped feeding the raccoons, and eventually they started to peter out and go away.
Sheesh.
The raccoons appear to have started dispersing now that they are no longer being fed. And we are glad for the positive outcome of this case. That was, I believe, the wildlife person. So, yeah, they didn't have, I don't see her name in here. I'm sure that was being very nice of her. They really should say the name, because that's just, I mean, don't feed wild animals. We did that episode earlier about a town called Chaos, where they're feeding the bears, and a lot of people feeding the bears, even when the bears became extremely dangerous, and they started attacking people.
Well,
in New Hampshire.
Remember, we used to leave cat food out because we had an outdoor cat only.
Yeah.
And so, she didn't come in to eat.
Yep.
So that was a problem.
And remember that time the raccoon came back there. Raccoons are bigger than you think they are. They're not scary. I mean, this raccoon, our cat was out there with the raccoon. I remember the cat seeing the raccoon, and he went big, But he didn't run away, and the raccoon didn't threaten him. It's like, I'm going to eat your food. And
Yeah.
you're a cat. You can't really do much about it. Raccoons are much larger than cats.
Yeah.
And but you know, you don't want 100 camping out just outside your house and harassing you. Like, I've got to run for the car.
Well, that one night we were walking the dogs. This was a few years ago. We saw a family of like 5 raccoons in somebody's driveway.
A mom and adolescents, because they are like maybe half full size, maybe a little more.
Yeah, they weren't real big.
Yeah,
but
they weren't, and they were playing hide
there
and
were
seek
5
behind a car. Remember that they were at the garage side hood of a car was parked in the driveway, and I remember because just kind of look around and they'd peek around the corner, and the mom did try to look big.
They stood up,
back and stand up to look like they're big. Really, we're still much bigger than you, raccoon.
Yeah,
but we didn't mess with them. We didn't go try to feed them.
No,
because it's stupid. Don't feed.
I did take
wild
pictures.
animals. That's nice of you. Our last one is a story about a man who decided he was going to go. What's that diet, the protein diet that you do, where you go into ketosis or something like that, and you lose weight? The Atkins, not the Atkins. There's a more modern term for that though too, right? I can't remember. Maybe the paleo diet, something like that. But basically, he decided he's going to go high fat. He's going to eat beef, cheese, and also sticks of butter.
Oh.
And he called it a carnivore diet. And he started this about 8 months prior to going to the doctor. Because his diet included between 6 to 9 pounds of cheese, butter, and hamburgers every single day that, quote, had additional fat incorporated into them, end quote. I don't know what that means, but it doesn't sound good.
No. So you buy special cheese and special butter that has extra fat?
No, the hamburgers.
Oh.
The hamburgers had additional fat incorporated into them, so I don't know what that means. Just by like really, I don't know.
I mean, how could you even physically eat that much food?
So I'd be so sick to my stomach. He said that his weight dropped, his energy levels increased, and his, quote, mental clarity improved.
Sure.
This is called confirmation bias. Your mental clarity, huh? As you walk into the doctor's office. It was he went to a hospital in Tampa, in Florida. Stop making Florida jokes, Carrie. So this article should start with the words "Florida man."
Yeah.
And he said, "Doctor, I've got a problem." His problem was that he was oozing cholesterol out of his skin. These yellow globules were coming out of his flesh.
Oh, my word.
His cholesterol level with this genius carnivore paleo diet, which, by the way, human beings, there's 2 populations that have an all meat and dairy diet.
Yeah.
And they're specialized populations. We as humans have never eaten like that. I think it's, what's the name? Jordan something. Is that Canadian conspiracy theories on YouTube?
Jordan Peterson.
He advocates this paleo diet and carnivore diet is absolute fiction. It's not true.
Yeah.
It's a terrible idea. This guy's cholesterol exceeded 1,000 mg per DL. I forgot what the stand for. Milligrams per, I forget.
Deciliter, maybe?
Sure.
Or deciliter?
I love it. Let's go with that. For context, an optimal amount of cholesterol is under 200 milligrams.
And his was how much?
1,000.
Woof.
5 times the optimal level.
Yeah.
Even at 240, you're said to be at the cusp of having high cholesterol. Over 300, it's something they want to treat.
Yeah.
For sure. Even at 240, they might. Prior, then they had checked his cholesterol. Prior to this diet change, his cholesterol had ranged between 210 and 300 milligrams. So he was already still high cholesterol, but not extraordinarily high cholesterol. And he thought, let me just eat nothing but meat, cheese, and sticks of butter, which, by the way, isn't good.
No. I mean, I love butter, but by itself?
It's gross. This is a thing that's called xanthelasma. It's a condition which, quote, excess blood lipids ooze from blood vessels and form localized lipid deposits. The escaped lipids would normally be taken up by roaming white blood cells called macrophages, but in cases with xanthelasma, it's just too much, unquote.
Yeah.
There's too much fat that they come out of your skin. They come out of your pores, and they actually, there's, I guess, like yellowish globs or something like that.
I guess it's better that it's coming out than staying inside your body.
I guess, but maybe it's not a great thing. And his skin had taken on kind of a yellowish hue to it as well. So this guy, again, who is unnamed, and come on, we got to name these people.
Yeah,
we got to name and shame.
HIPAA rules.
Just kidding. So yeah, no, I guess you're right. So this genius decided to treat high cholesterol with milk, butter, cheese, and fat-infused hamburgers. Yeah, I'm no doctor. Medical
What
doctor.
you claim to be a doctor all the time.
I am a doctor, but not that kind of doctor. And even I know you don't eat that kind of diet. Remember we tried. I don't know if we talked about this before.
Not we.
I did it for like 9
never
days.
did
I
that.
felt sick to my stomach the entire time. It's not a good diet. It's not a healthy diet. It's not a balanced diet. It's just, I know there might, you can lose weight because you're not eating as much food because it's so gross and you're never hungry anymore because you're sick. That was at least my experience. That's anecdotal.
Well, yeah, no, plenty of people can eat that way and they don't feel sick.
No.
But the problem is it's not sustainable.
Yeah,
so,
that is the problem. Yeah.
So when you go back to eating normally, eating carbs and stuff, you're going to gain the weight back.
And they have tested. I've seen macro studies of this and meta-analyses and showed that it really is a myth that it's a better way to lose weight because it's not, or that it does lose more weight. It doesn't.
Yeah.
Any kind of a diet that that is moderate and you less calories taken in than you're expending is going to lose some weight, but it doesn't lose more. Like the myth is that you'll lose more weight than like the classic low-fat diet or something like that. That's not true. They're fairly close, but that's not true. But the classic low-fat diet, something like the Mediterranean diet, something like that, is infinitely healthier and more nutritional and has a much more balanced foods that you're taking in. So, but again, I'm not a doctor.
I know.
But I don't need sticks of butter.
We could argue about diets all day long.
We could, but I'm not going to.
No, I'm not either.
Let's go eat some butter. Well, that's our story.
Well, our words that Dean will never say.
What?
Let's go eat some butter.
I like butter. I just don't like a lot of butter on things. I don't mind butter.
You get, oh my God.
I don't like a lot of butter.
You get so upset when there's butter on things.
No, I don't. That's crazy talk. You're insane. You're crazy. You should eat more butter.
This is gaslighting 101 here.
I don't ever put extra butter on things. Almost never. Rarely extra butter on things. But I don't mind like foods. Like, what kind of foods have a lot of butter?
In them?
Uh-huh.
Croissant sourdough bread that I'm going to make this week.
I don't mind that. I don't mind croissants. I'll eat croissants. But I eat a croissant. There's a lot of butter on croissant. Mm-hmm. It's just not too much. Cheese, I like cheese, but I'm not great for dairy. So maybe that's part of it. And I do not want to eat fat-infused hamburgers.
No.
Thank you.
I'd never even heard of
very
such
much.
a thing.
In-N-Out Burger is going to have they probably serve that already. So that was our Weird News, the Dumb Shaming edition. Involved Florida a couple of times, didn't it? Carrie has withstood the temptation to make fun of Florida. I'm happy for that. So thank you, Carrie.
Thank you, Dean.
Yep. Until next time.
Thanks for listening.
Bye.
Bye.